SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. SCOBY. There we go. I'll pop him over there. The actual recipe for this is per litre of water. It's 2 tea bags of either black or green tea. Some people have used herbal teas. I've never had success with herbal teas, but just organic black or organic green tea. So 2 bags per litre and 1/4 cup of sugar per litre. That is the recipe. So in this jug, this is 2 litres, we're going to put 4 bags of tea. Take the tags off because you don't want the dye going in from the print. So that's 4 bags for the 2 litres. That's 1/4 cup, so that's for the 1 litre. That's for 2 litres.
Is that raw sugar?
This is raw sugar, yes.
We tried using coconut sugar, but it wasn't, for some reason, it just didn't quite work as well.
So bring your water to the boil and put it in here. Now while that's brewing, I'll just tell you when I make a bigger vessel. Now you can make as small amount as you want, or as big as long as you use that ratio. 2 bags of tea to 1/4 cup of sugar per litre of water. When I make this brew here, you don't want to leave the tea bags in too long because it will go bitter. Right, so that's nearly ready to go. So what I would do now with this one, if I was making this up, I would tip this out into another plastic vessel or glass vessel, then give the jar a wash under the tap. Don't use detergent, just water, hot water, you know. And then I would just keep going like this, 2 litre by 2 litre, tipping it in, another lot, tipping it in until you get right up to here. Then when I let it cool down, then I would put the SCOBY back in again. Or first you probably could put the starter in and then the SCOBY. But remember to cool it down because you don't want to put it into a hot of water because it might damage the culture. So roughly when you're starting off new, you would probably go 1 cup of the starter fluid per 2 litres like this. So what we're going to do now is I'll show you, that's about as long as you want to leave the tea brew. So you just fish out the tea bags, squish them out with that. Now remember to use wooden spoons or plastic spoons, don't use metal. For some reason it just doesn't like it. Put it over there. And then you would, with this, we're just going to make this small one up because I've got another one we prepared earlier. Yeah. Chip it in there. Now remember you've got to allow for 1 cup of the starter going in plus a little SCOBY, so you could probably take it up to about, about there, something like that. Put that away. So this is still a bit warm because I did this before. When that's nicely cooled down, you would then, now I'm going to tip some of this. Is a really strong brew. This is one that I have left brew longer than normal, so it's gone quite vinegary, so it's quite powerful, this one. So I would use now in that, I'll just put 1 cup of this in here. It's handy if you do have jars with taps on them. You can get smaller jars like this with a tap, otherwise you're stirring it up and everything. So you would put this now, this is a very strong starter fluid in there. That's a good general rule, 1 cup to 2 litres. And our little SCOBY is in here. Fish him out. Pop him in there. Give it a stir. Now in the summer months, This will make your kombucha tea from 10 to 14 days. In the winter months it might take up to 3 weeks. If you've got a tap on the bottom, like here, after 10 days you can just go along with your little cup and just get a little bit off and taste it, and you'll know exactly when it's right, because it's just before it turns too tart. You know, if you think, it's just about ready, bottle it that day. You know, don't leave it till the next day, because sometimes you can leave it that little bit longer and it's gone all vinegary. So now with this one here, we do not put a sealed lid on that. It has to breathe. So just putting a rag over the top and rubber band on here like this, and get yourself a little bit of paper or something that you can write down on here now the date that you bottled it and approximately when it's due to come off, and put it in a nice warm spot through the winter months, not too hot through the summer, and just leave it sit. What will happen sometimes, the SCOBY, where's he gone? Is he up the top or the bottom? He's gone up. Now they will go up and down, and don't worry about that. It will grow a new SCOBY now, so it doesn't matter where that old one goes. What I pulled off the top of here, it will grow a new one across the top of the brew. So that's pretty simple there. So this is obviously too hot to do now, and yes, what I would do with this big one now, like I said, I just keep filling this up. And you can work out, I think this is 10 litres, so if this was a new brew, you probably would need nearly 5 cups of this as a starter fluid. But even like with the SCOBYs, you probably would use, in a big jar like this, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of those SCOBYs. Put them all in, give them a good stir, put the cloth on top, probably 2-hour cloth, this one, and just leave it sit for 10 to 14 days through the summer months, up to 3 weeks for the winter. Yeah, I think that's pretty much just how basic kombucha tea making is.